everyone, and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you are all doing good tonight. We are going to be doing some discussions on some follow-ups to stories I've discussed in the past. We're going to talk about a lot of new situations. Oh boy, is there a lot going on right now. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a lot to talk about tonight. And a lot of things that are kind of disappointing in my opinion. So, first of all, tonight we are going to be discussing Ruby Rose and how her character is going to be replaced in Batwoman with a new character. So basically what they're doing is they're pulling this hero is just gone now. Someone else is kind of taking up the Batwoman mantle, but they're not doing like a character that already exists. It's not going to be like a character that knew Batwoman or knew Kane. It's going to be like a completely new character. Fuzzy microphone. Is it fuzzy? Is it fuzzy? Doesn't sound fuzzy on my end. Unfortunately, you guys can really hear it. So I explained this in one of my last live streams. This is my backup microphone that I just bought, and it is giving me a ton of problems. Let me see if I can make it better. Hold on. Unfortunately, there's not a lot that I can fix when it comes to it. Hold on a second. Is that any better? It might be a little better. It might not be. I had explained this during my last live stream. I'll explain it again before I start discussing the topics. My main microphone had broken. It's 3 months old, completely broke on me. I have to get a replacement. I have to start the warranty process, which I did do. And now I have this microphone, which I went out and bought, and it's got a huge static problem. It's absolutely so annoying. Much better. Do you guys want to know what I did? I hit it. No joke, I hit it. I just spent $100 on this microphone, and this microphone gets this gosh darn awful fuzz. It gets like this static, and I've been trying my damnedest to fix it, and it just... oh boy, will it not fix. Oh boy, is there like no way for me to fix it. I've tried all different sorts of connections. Unfortunately, when it gets that way... nowhere is allowing returns right now on things like microphones and earphones. Nowhere is allowing returns. So literally, my $200 microphone broke. $200, 3 months old, broke. And first of all, it's been a week since I've heard from them about the warranty. And now this new microphone that I just spent 100 whoppers on is getting this bad static. It comes and goes. Like, it'll be fine for like 4 hours, and then it'll start. And then it'll stop for 10 minutes, and then it'll start. It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And yeah, Nowhere's doing returns right now. So I knew when I bought the microphone, Nowhere was doing returns. But I figured, I only need this microphone to work for me for like 3 weeks max. My new replacement will be in now. No, I was wrong. I was really, really wrong. Anyway, if the microphone gets fucky during this live stream, please let me know again. I will hit it again. I'm not afraid to abuse my position of power against this fucking microphone. You cock. I'm not afraid. Technology, guys. Me and technology don't work. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm abusing my microphone in front of 50 of you. Great. Get a $30 one. So first of all, it was a bitch to find this microphone. Here, I'll just rant about it for a minute. This microphone, I had to drive to get. I had to drive like 25 miles, which I guess realistically isn't a lot. But when you have to go like into Boston, in the middle of everything, of a coronavirus, to get the one microphone they had, they literally had 4 microphones in stock. 4. And this was one of them, and the other ones There was like a $20 one, and then there was like $300 ones. So, it is what it is. Millennial problems. Well, luckily for me, I'm not a millennial. But anyway, if it gets like that again, please let me know, and I will abuse it again. Let's get back on track. Tonight I'm going to be talking about how the CW is going to replace Ruby Rose's Batwoman with a new character that is going to supposedly play Batwoman, which I feel very mixed on. I don't really like that. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, because my opinions are a little bit mixed on this situation. We are going to talk about Looney Tunes. I was going to make a video on this. I didn't get a chance to today, but Looney Tunes is basically censoring guns, and they have banned Elmer Fudd from having a gun, and instead they've replaced it with a scythe. A scythe! We can't have guns, but a scythe apparently is perfectly fine. This is so dumb. We're going to talk about DC dropping Diamond and them kind of admitting, DC, I should say, admitting that comics have sustained stagnant growth, that the comics industry is not growing anymore, or at least it hasn't been for a little while. It's one thing to talk about that and to see how many comics are coming out and how many comic book shops are closing, and it's another thing for DC Comics themselves to kind of come out and admit that comics they're not growing anymore. And we are also going to talk about Twitch. This is a new situation. I'd heard about this last night, and I wanted to see more examples and hear more about it, but a lot of big streamers have been talking out about it today. Twitch and the DMCA wars that they're going through, and how a lot of creators have been hit by a wave of DMCA claims, and basically Twitch is saying, we have no way to help you, we have nothing in place, just delete your old VODs, when a lot of people can't even access older VODs because they fall off of the dashboard. So those are the topics for tonight, but I hope you are all doing well. Before we get into that, though, I will chat with you all for a minute. Dude, it says a lot about society when they are afraid of seeing Elmer fucking Fudd wielding a gun. I know. And then, I think it was a Looney Tunes writer. I don't know if he writes Looney Tunes anymore, but he did in the past. He basically came out and blamed it on his masculinity, which is so dumb and so stupid. I am so sick of the word, masculinity being a negative thing now. Honestly, first of all, if you're going to reboot something, then just do it right, or don't do it at all. Is it so hard to do that? Is it really so hard for you to write your own content these days? But if you're going to do it, just do it right. Just do it right. Or get out of the effing industry so people that know how to write can actually do good things. Is it that hard? Is it that hard? I'm glad you dodged that sinking ship of Twitch. What a mess. Well, I've been very vocal on my thoughts on Twitch. I think that their policies are very inconsistent. Or their policies are bad, but the way that they enforce the policies are very inconsistent. I do think that, yes, Twitch does have features that are very good for streamers. I know that myself. I mean, as a streamer, someone that streams upwards of 4 times a week, I do think that there are good things that they have in place. But I don't like the way that their administrators, their ambassadors, the way that people representing the company and just the brand in general act. I just really don't like that. But yeah, I mean, I've talked openly about how I feel about Twitch. I have for a long time. I've had problems with them, and honestly, if I had a problem with YouTube, I would probably try Twitch, but right now, I just am not interested in becoming a full-time Twitch streamer when I have YouTube. To cancel a guy, I'm not sure if you'd be interested in that, but several SJW I don't know what situation you're talking about. You're free to join our Discord and to post links so I can check it out. Or you're free to message me them on Twitter. I do my best to check that as well. I'm wondering if this new Batwoman character is going to also be Bruce Wayne's cousin? Because that's who Kate Kane is, right? It's cousin? I'm like 90% sure it's the cousin. Cousin and... yeah, it's cousin. I just started... oh, let me zoom this out really quickly. Oh, Streamlabs, don't do this. Oh my goodness gracious. Open up my damn... oh, I finally figured out, after like 5 streams, how to expand the Streamlabs chat. Love it. I just started streaming GTA 5 over on Twitch. There's no more of that now. The thing with... which we will talk about with the Twitch thing is games like Just Dance. No one will be able to stream them anymore. No one will be able to. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But let's start on the first topic, which is Batwoman. Now, I've talked about Batwoman quite a few times in live streams. I have very mixed opinions on Batwoman. While I was initially very excited for the topic and just the show of Batwoman, I thought that maybe it had potential. Ruby Rose had been in a couple of previous shows that were decent. I mean, I'm personally not a big fan of her acting style. She usually plays very cocky characters, and I'm personally not really a fan of that. So naturally, if she plays those parts, of course I'm not going to like her acting style. But I thought that maybe, you know, she'd come into Batwoman, be very serious about it. At the beginning, she said how she was so passionate about the character and she was so very excited to be able to play Batwoman. And last week, I had discussed how after season 1, she was not returning. She was not coming back for a season 2. She was just not a fan of it. There were rumors as to why. Apparently, she just didn't like acting for hours upon hours every day, even though she was the main character in a show. When you're a main character, don't you think that you'd be acting a lot in the show? But now, apparently, we are hearing that the CW will replace Ruby Rose's Batwoman with a new character. So basically, Kate Kane, the only character in right now, I think, that's ever played Batwoman, is not going to be Batwoman, but they are going to replace her. Oh no. When Ruby Rose shockingly walked away from Batwoman before the second season, the search was on, so it seemed, for the next Kate Kane. But we learned this week that the producers, whether they have a soft spot for Rose or not, aren't actually going to replace her. We had heard at first that she was going to be replaced, but apparently the actress is not going to be replaced. Entertainment Weekly reports that, with Rose gone, they are saying goodbye to the original Batwoman Kane and moving forward with a whole new character. Now, I would honestly think that if you just aren't going to be able to replace the character, then maybe you should just end the show. Like, if the main actress isn't going to come back, and she's just not going to be part of it, why are you...
Thank you for talking about my struggle.
Thank you for the donation. Then why are you going to just continue the whole Batwoman show? There are plenty of other characters that you could put into a... There's plenty of other characters that you could put into a show and make it decent. And obviously, Batwoman didn't pick up traction. Batwoman it kind of fell off the charts, I feel like. A lot of people just weren't initially interested in it. And when you see these CW shows, usually they start off very high. And while Batwoman did start off okay, it didn't start off as high as all of the other CW shows. So you would assume that, like, after one season, if the actress isn't interested in the project anymore, it's not getting a lot of views, you could probably replace the character with, like, a new show, just rebrand, make a new character. You would think that they would do that, but no, apparently they are so hooked on Batwoman that that is not what they are going to do. So EW got their hands on character descriptions from a casting call for a new lead named Ryan Wilder. She's described as female, mid-late 20s, any ethnicity. Why? But why? Also, likable, messy, a little goofy, and untamed, the breakdown continues. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years as a drug runner, dodging the GCPD and masking her pain with bad habits. Today, reformed and sober, Ryan lives in a van with her plant, a girl who would steal milk from an alley cat and could also kill you with her bare hands. Ryan is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly disciplined, an out lesbian, athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your stereotypical all-American hero. Oh no. I hate it. I honestly, I hate it. The whole point to Batwoman, can we just say this? Batwoman is related to Batman. So if you take away Batwoman, that is no longer related to Batman, you are creating a new character that you could simply just write a whole new show for. But no. Why would they do that? Because Batwoman makes people click. When people hear Batwoman, they instantly think of the character. If you heard about, I don't know what this character, if you heard about Ryan Wilder, people will be like, who? Who is that? So instead of like making her another animal and having her be like, I don't know, Donkey Girl, they have to just, of course, they just have to go with Batwoman. Just write a new character. Honestly, please. Just write a new character. So according to that, they are sticking with the mandate for diversity in Batwoman and Arrowverse at large. I personally don't mind the diversity thing. I really, truly hope that this casting call isn't divisive. I really hope that this casting call truly is any ethnicity and they're not going to narrow in on one ethnicity. Right now they're saying that, oh yeah, any ethnicity's welcome, but of course, we all know how that goes. You know, they always try to look at a specific group of people. I really hope that it is open. It doesn't matter to me as long as the actress, I guess I should say. I usually go between just saying actor and then specifying actress. I hope that the actress is good. That's all that I would really hope for because Ruby Rose just didn't pull it off. In my opinion, I watched most of Batwoman. I really wasn't a fan. I wasn't into it. I again, just don't like her acting style. But I really, truly hope that they bring in a better actress. I don't really know how to feel about this description about how, like, she used to be a drug runner and, you know, she used to be this bad person, but now she's just reformed and such a good person. I don't know. It feels a little bit cheap to me. Also, why does this character have to be a lesbian when Batwoman was also, like, is there supposed to be a correlation between the characters? Like, are they gonna go with some understory of, like, this is, like, Kate Kane's ex-girlfriend or something? Like, I just have that bad feeling that they're going to do something like that. But the article continues on with, Recall Productions, the CW, and Warner Brothers Television swore in a statement today that they would uphold their policy of LGBT representation. Said the statement, the studio and network are firmly committed to Batwoman's second season and long-term future, and we, along with the show's talented creative team, look forward to sharing its new direction, including the casting of a new lead actress and member of the LGBTQ community in the coming months. Why does every character have to be LGBTQ? We had Batwoman. We had Kate Kane. Kate Kane was a lesbian. Why do we have to have another lesbian character? Why do we always have to narrow it down into putting something like that in the entertainment? I'm not saying I have a problem. I have no problems whatsoever with LGBTQ actors, actresses, characters. I have no problems with those things. I'm totally cool with seeing them. But do we have to force it into every little ounce of our entertainment? You would think also that with Batwoman not working, they would want to do a complete 180 and change kind of what was going on previously. But no. It just sounds like they're going to stick with what they were doing before. Doesn't really sound like they care if it worked or not. Doesn't really sound that way. Just kind of sounds like they are doing what they want at this point. At the time, everyone assumed this meant, with some assurance, they were looking for Ruby Rose's replacement. WWE superstar Sonya Deville and Brooklyn Nine-Nine actress Stephanie Beatriz vied for the roles of Kate Kane, while some sites wanted a Jewish actress, oh my goodness, to reflect Kane's chronicle heritage. The CW, the showrunner, far from doing that, could be trying to move on from Ruby Rose and forget both of her and Kate Kane. The character description tellingly adds, Ryan Wilder is about to become Batwoman, but she is nothing like Kate. So that's all that we really know right now. They're writing a brand new character. They're not replacing Kate Kane. It's a little bit confusing to describe it because, like, they are replacing her and the character, but they're not. Because they're replacing Kate Kane, but they're kind of not replacing Batwoman because they're trying to get a new Batwoman. I'm sorry. Really confusing way to describe it, but that's all that we know right now. Will I miss Ruby Rose? No. I didn't really like her. I really, 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 really hope that they do better with season 2. I just personally don't see the point to write a whole new character, and replace the old character. Just write a new show. Honestly, that's what I would say. Just write a new show, get some new ideas going, and see what happens. But it just appears that they aren't interested in doing that. Let me check chat very quickly. My goodness, I had everything completely scrolled up. Hello Drew, how are you doing? I hope that your night is going well. Let me see. Is my mic fucky? I think it's okay. I know you'd said fuzzy mic a couple of minutes ago, but hopefully it's okay now. Again, guys, I'm sorry that the mic gets kind of fuzzy sometimes. I'm sorry, my friends. I don't hear it right now, but it could be happening soon. Freaking microphones, guys. Freaking microphones. Good now? Good. Good. Also, really quickly before we get into the next topic, Frank, I saw your message in Discord. I'm very sorry to hear about that. I hope your friend will be okay. And if you need anyone to talk to, of course, the whole server is here to talk. I'm not gonna explain what happened in chat, but I hope everything turns out okay. Next, we're moving on to another DC topic. Another seamless transition, everyone. Seamless transition. They think that Batman automatically equals success, which is why they won't do another show. Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's their mentality behind it. And they're not kind of wrong, because everyone does love Batwoman. And when you hear Bat, you instantly think of Batman. And I don't want to say everyone loves Batwoman, but I feel like a lot of people liked Batwoman before this show. Because people were so excited about this show, and people were like, oh, this sounds like it's going to be cool. But everyone loves Batman, so when you hear Batman, you instantly get excited. Alright. DC Comics admits comics have sustained stagnant growth in decision to cut ties with Diamond Comics distributors. Now, if you guys don't know, I worked at a comic book store for a couple of years. I stopped working in a comic book store in 2018. Now, well, I've been on and off. Anyway, I stopped really working with a comic book store in 2018. Of course, I know a lot of game store owners and a lot of kind of what has surrounded the market. But when I worked at comic shops and game stores, I did sell comics. 2 + 2 = 6. And the comic book industry at that point was in decline. There were always declines, and obviously judging by one store, you can't really judge the industry as a whole, but being part of that atmosphere, I saw a lot of other comic book stores talking about it. And it's kind of pretty well known at this point that the comics industry hasn't been doing good. It's just, it hasn't done the numbers that it used to do. People are buying more comics, you know, even digitally, which that's not even doing very good from what we hear. So you have the market split, and the market isn't growing, and that's a huge problem. So we heard a couple of days ago that DC Comics was cutting their ties with Diamond Comics distributors. And now we're hearing that DC Comics is admitting to comics having sustained stagnant growth. It's one thing to talk about it and kind of just assume with seeing numbers that the industry is falling. It's not growing. But to hear a company like DC admit openly that it's not doing too great is very kind of eye-opening, I feel. It honestly, in my opinion, is. AT&T-owned DC Comics admitted in an email sent to retailers that comics have sustained stagnant market growth while announcing they will no longer be working with DCD. The email details that DC Comics' business relationship with DCD ends effective following Diamond's distribution of product offered on DC's FOC list of June 1st. They were not fucking around. This wasn't like, in 6 months we're done. In a year we're done. No. Immediate. The email goes on to state, in the near term, my goodness, I cannot read tonight, Diamond will only be fulfilling orders placed through June 1st final order cutoff and will not solicit the sale of new DC titles further. That doesn't look awful. Scrolling real quick, I actually don't mind that art. It's not bad. It adds, to ensure a smooth transition for retailers, DC will suspend final order cutoff for June 8th, making those books available to order on final order cutoff on June 15th. Previous World reports the June 1st final cutoff order books available to order from DCD include, there's a lot here, but like Batgirl, Batman 93, Aquaman 60, Batman Beyond 44, Flash 756, Constantine, Lucifer, Plunge, Superman City of Tomorrow. There's quite a few titles here, as you can tell. Also, holy shit, that art's really good too. Man, that art's good too. They also announced that they're committed to having new DC Comics go on sale on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays. They stated, DC is committed to Tuesday on sale dates so that all of our product is offered on the same day in all retail channels. This announcement comes after DC Comics detailed they were exploring a multi-distributor model back in March. Did I think back in March when they mentioned this that they were going to do it? Hell no. I didn't think that they were going to change. I thought that they were saying, yeah, they're exploring their options. What are they trying to do? Like, scare retailers, scare consumers? Like, what are they trying to do with that statement? I was wrong, I guess. As to why they decided to cut ties with Diamond, they pointed to sustained stagnant market growth. They explained DC has been analyzing its direct market distribution for some time, long before COVID, especially in light of sustained stagnant market growth. They added the timing of this decision to move on from Diamond was ultimately dictated by the fact that DC's contract with Diamond has expired, but incidentally, the disruption by COVID to the market has required DC to forge ahead with its larger growth strategies that will benefit both the direct market and DC. Boy. In the email, DC Comics details they will be replacing DCD with Lunar Distribution and UCS Comics distributors, as well as Penguin Random House. Lunar and UCS will distribute periodicals and graphic novels, while Penguin Random House will distribute graphic novels. So they've got a couple of different companies now, you know, distributing different things, different products. Like, one's gonna do graphic novels, some of them are gonna do graphic novels. In order to receive books with the final order cutoff on June 15th or later, retailers have to contact Lunar Distribution. Oh my gosh, I cannot say distribution tonight. UCS comic distributors or Penguin Random House. DC Comics also recommends US and Canadian retailers on the West Coast use Lunar, while those located on the East Coast use UCS to maximize shipping timelines. They recommend distributors outside of North America can choose any of the three. DC is also kind of touting this new system, writing, "We believe that this new system will bring you world-class service using top-of-the-line and modern systems that will provide you the most efficient operational supply chain." Honestly, in my opinion, hearing these words, hearing this statement, they are shitting on DCD. They are saying, you know, you have been good for a long time, but it honestly sounds like they are just saying you guys fell off. You didn't stand up to the plate. You weren't what we needed, so we're gonna move the hell on. This sounds like a very bad breakup message. Like, if people post your breakup message on, like, social media, this is bad. Let me go to the bottom. Blaming a distributor instead of their unsellable woke trash product, total deflection. Comics fans want good stories and art, not a laundry list of woke writers injecting their politics into character development and storylines, he concluded. So what do you make of DC Comics' decision to cut ties with Diamond? In my opinion, I guess it wasn't really surprising. I honestly didn't think that it would never... It's hard because I never thought that it would happen, but at the same time, they needed to make a change. Someone needed to make a change somewhere. If DC thinks that this is their right move, good for them. But dropping DCD is huge for the comics industry as a whole. It's hard to say if a lot of stores and if them will suffer more or if the market could suffer more. But obviously DC thinks that this is a good move, so I guess good for them. It's hard to say. Honestly, I've seen very mixed opinions on this. So I am in a lot of comics retailers groups, a lot of like comic book shop owners, and a lot of people are very mixed on this. Because on one hand, a lot of people are very angry that they have to go through new distributors and like it's not going to be that simple and they can't just make one order a week and all of their books will be there. A lot of other people are also saying that the industry isn't growing, so what the hell do we have to lose? If you are going to continue down the same path, nothing's going to grow and eventually the industry is just going to die. So I've seen a lot of flip-flop with it, but I guess we will have to see how it turns out. We will have to see if it turns out good. It's going to be hard to judge it at first because obviously of COVID, you know, shipping delays, a lot of comic stores haven't gotten new orders. A lot of comic shops right now are closing, unfortunately. So maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe in like a month and a half, I will update you all on the situation. Maybe DC will come out and say, oh, hey, yeah, it's going great. Or, you know, maybe not. But this is very big. This is very big industry news, and I'm curious to see of what effects it will have as a whole. I thought the comic book industry would phase out by now. I mean, I don't want the comic industry to fail. Maybe some people do. I don't want it to fail. I don't want it to flop.
Deep reading out loud is hard short stack, so have some money to help you get over it.
Thank you for the donation. I don't want the industry to fail, but it needs to drastically change, and that's the hardest part. Because you can say it needs to change, but at the end of the day, there might not be a lot of ways for industries to change. I do think that the comic industry can still be saved. I think that the writing needs to do a complete 180. I think the art needs to get better. I think that a lot of art is still very good, but a lot of art has definitely gone downhill, in my opinion. I think that everything just needs to change. And if this is really the step that needed to be made in order to incite change, then I'm for it. I mean, who really knows, though? DC, you are making a very, very bold move right now, and it better pay off. That's all that I have to say. I don't buy new comics anymore. I will buy ones in series that I like, but I do not buy in the volume that I used to buy. I didn't like the direction a lot of books were going in, so I stopped supporting. If things changed, I would 100% support again. That's all I have to say. The hardest obstacle here is that the SJW is preventing the industry from getting better. It definitely needs to change. I really hate to see comics go down like this. I 100% agree, VG. I would love to see the industry thrive again. I would love to see writers and artists that deserve chances get their chances. I would love to see more writers and artists flourish. But is the industry in a good place now? No. And all we can do is hope that something changes. And maybe this will be the spark that ignites the fire, and the industry will rise back out of the ashes. Honestly, though, I don't think so. I like to stay positive, but I don't think that it's going to happen. I don't think so. I think that they have messed up too much. I think they have allowed people to fuck the industry up for a long time. And I think that, yes, while movies do good, you know, Justice League and Marvel and Avengers and all these things are great, it's not drawing in the numbers that they wanted to. They are not drawing in the numbers from people watching the movies to buying the comics and buying the paper stories. While the movies do fucking fantastic, as you can see, the industry is still failing. It's hard to say. I used to love Marvel and DC, but despise them in the past decade or so. Yeah, I really like them both still. I like DC more than Marvel. I'm a DC fangirl. There are some good stories that still come out. And that's what's hard. Because you look at all the negative fucking things that have happened, and you overlook the positive things. You see all of these awful situations happening with all these woke stories, and all of the writers that are insulting fans on Twitter and Instagram, and, you know, writers that are coming out with these joke stories like Snowflake and Safe Space. Yet you're overlooking really good stories, and you're overlooking just good. Because you've got the good stories and the good art, and it's unfortunate. But it's bound to happen. All you can do is hope that things change. Man, so many F-bombs? I'm not F-bombing that much. Have you ever watched a Doom live stream? 007? The Warcraft film. That was trash. That was peak trash. Oh my goodness. I just realized I have 3 Bounding Into Comics articles tonight. Shout out to Bounding Into Comics. I had another article for Looney Tunes, but then they put this one out today. And I was like, yeah, let's read it. Whoops. I'm not a shill, I promise. They just actually cover topics I find mildly important. Only books I buy now are from indies, Once in a Blue Moon, or graded old books. I mean, graded old books are more like collectibles, because if they're graded, you're not going to take them out and read them. But yeah, I mean, I still have some graded books. I've sold a lot of my graded books. I had a lot of ungraded copies. Like, I had a Vision first appearance, sold the graded, kept the ungraded. That was actually in better condition than the graded, because the graded was an awful condition. I have, like, newer books that are graded, like first appearance, like female Thor. I do have that for some reason. I picked it up for a steal and a deal, even though it's not worth much. But yeah. Anyway. This is the topic that most of you tonight are probably here for. You are probably ready for a rant that you never thought you would hear from me. You thought you would never hear a rant from me on how Looney Tunes is being censored, about how Elmer Fudd is losing his gun. But you would be wrong. Because tonight, we are here to talk about Looney Tunes and them changing his gun to a hecking scythe. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse. Why would they touch a classic? They had to go and reboot Looney Tunes and just change things because they felt like changing them, basically. That's my problem here. If you're going to reboot something, do it right or don't do it at all. I don't know how hard that is for people to understand, but if you're going to do it, please, please just do it right. Please just do it right. Looney Tunes writer responds to fan backlash against Elmer Fudd not using firearms. I haven't gotten a chance to discuss this yet, but I've watched the backlash, and I have watched how unhappy a lot of people are. I agree. I think that this is ridiculous. Bugs Bunny's longtime rival, Elmer Fudd, will have to find a new way to take out his arch nemesis on HBO Max. Can I just say, just a couple days ago, I was talking about how the HBO Max boss had made a statement defending fans of the Snyder Cut. He was defending fans, he was doing a great damn job calling us passionate, and now we hear about this. It had to happen. It just had to happen. In the upcoming revival of Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max, Elmer Fudd will no longer use firearms. The showrunner made that abundantly clear in a recent interview with the New York Times. He stated, "We're not doing guns." However, he did add, "But we can do cartoony violence like TNT." All of that was grandfathered in. So you're literally saying he can't carry a shotgun, but he can TNT him. He can use TNT, but not a gun. How does that make sense? In the classic Looney Tunes cartoons, Fudd routinely hunted Bugs Bunny using a rifle. He indicated that a number of the cartoons might be too adult-oriented, saying some of them may have gone a little too far, so they might come out in a different format. So basically he's saying that they want to make everything politically correct. And they want to rate everything in a way that's not gonna offend anyone. We don't want to offend people. We want to be We want to be nice to the sensitive people. Can I just say something? Do they seriously think kids these days are going to watch Looney Tunes? I'm going to be dead honest. I do not think kids will watch this. I think that only people with nostalgia for this will watch it. I do not think any new kids are gonna watch this. So what does it matter if it's got a gun? If you're going to have TNT and a hecking scythe? He would also detail that Looney Tune grates against the current wave of anti-bullying. Everybody needs to be friends. Everybody needs to get along. He explained Looney Tunes is pretty much the antithesis of that. It's two characters in conflict, sometimes getting pretty violent. Yes! So what does it matter if he's got a gun? Someone said Elmer Fudd without his gun is like Sam without his mustache. Then what's the heckin' point? 2020 Looney Tunes. Gun violence has inspired us to take away Fudd's signature hunting rifle. Looney Tunes in 2012. Look at that. It's so true. Oh, it's so true. Lady Alchemy creator expressed that this move to remove Fudd's guns was part of an agenda to erase the old. She added, "This is how they influence new generations. We will no longer see the world we once knew." I honestly believe that at this point. There has been so much entertainment and so many classic franchises that just have been completely changed and ruined. But why? But why? Continuing on though. Where are we? Following this pushback, Warner Brothers animator and writer defended the decision to not have Fudd use a gun and claimed the character is defined by his challenged masculinity. He wrote, "Do you guys seriously care whether or not we take away Elmer Fudd's gun? Do you guys seriously care whether or not Elmer Fudd has a gun in our shorts? You know how many gags we do with guns? Fairly few. And the best were already done by the old guys." Oh, the old guys. Yeah, that's a great way to describe them. It's limiting. It was never about the gun. It was about Elmer's flawed, challenged masculinity. Can I say how sick I am of people wanting characters and real men's masculinity completely wiped away as if it's a sin? They're saying here, that was literally my first thought when I heard this. How does this make any sense to take away his gun? This does not clarify them taking away his gun at all, whatsoever. If the best things were already done by the old guys, as they say, then they should just not touch it. They should not continue writing Looney Tunes. They should move on to something, maybe similar animation, maybe a similar story, but write new characters. How put it in the same universe? Just don't have it be Looney Tunes. But you won't, because you need the nostalgia clicks. That's why you don't. He continued on, also, think about the context of what's going on in the world and how long ago our show started production. Late 2017, early 2018, right on the heels of a record number of mass shootings, particularly the horrific one in Las Vegas. Nobody wanted to touch guns in the media. Or is he trying to say that... Okay, do they think that there's a link between cartoons and mass shootings in real life? Like, do they think that, oh, if we remove this character's gun, violence is done. Gun violence is ended. Do they think that? Is this like a situation with video games and violence? How they say, oh, video games cause violence in real life, which isn't backed by any scientific evidence. I understand that animators didn't want to touch guns, but if they knew, this isn't going to come out this year, and it was going to take a couple of years to finish the project, why wouldn't they just give him the gun? It's not like it was launching that week or even that year. As a side the Netflix's The Punisher debuted on the streaming platform following the shooting in Las Vegas. Also, one of the most popular TV shows ever, NCIS, which features agents routinely using firearms, had average viewership of 16.7 million viewers according to Entertainment Weekly. A lot of shows that have guns are pretty popular. I need to find really quickly the screech, the picture of his new gun. His new scythe, his new weapon. Because this article doesn't show it, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. Look at this. He's gonna have a scythe. When I see a gun, let me give you guys my initial thoughts. When I see a gun, I don't instantly think of violence. I just think of, like, a lot of characters over the years have just kind of, like, you know, had guns to be spooky. So, like, in this, I mean, he's not constantly, like, shooting it. He just has it. When you see a scythe, you know something's going down. When I see a scythe, I instantly think of, like, graphic images of Bugs Bunny being scythed apart. But when I think of Elmer Fudd holding a gun, I don't think of that. I think, like, oh yeah, he's got a gun. Sure, he's gonna use it. Sure. I don't know. I feel like a scythe just registers differently in people's minds. And yes, while I do understand that they wanted to be sensitive because of the situations that were happening in the world, they knew that it wasn't going to be releasing during the same year. And there are plenty of TV shows and characters that use guns. I don't think that they should have changed it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they're censoring guns because they feel like it's better, but he's going to have a scythe and TNT. It honestly, to me, just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. This is just like when they replaced the cops' rifles with the walkie-talkies in E.T. The idea was so lame that they eventually restored the rifles. Exactly. I don't think that it was a big problem. I think that people are not going to watch it now because they're literally changing the essence of a character. When you think of Fudd, you think of him with his gun. Not running around with a scythe, which, can I note, Grim Reaper uses a scythe. Isn't that a little bit worse than a gun, in my opinion? I don't know. At the end of the day, I just think that it's ridiculous. I don't like him with a scythe. And it's not sitting well with people. I've seen a lot of people that are very disappointed, and I'm one of those people. Am I going to watch this? No. Was I going to watch this with a gun? I'm not sure. I probably would have watched a little bit of it, to be honest. I do like Looney Tunes quite a lot, but I think it's an unnecessary change, especially when they're going to have all different other types of violence. It's not like removing a gun is going to make that big of a difference. It's just going to disappoint people. So, that's all that I really had to discuss with that. Disappointed, yes. Highly disappointed. The masculinity comment makes absolutely no sense. Like, what does his challenged masculinity have to do with the gun being removed? Yeah, I think that if you're going to reboot something, do it right or don't fucking do it at all. Those are my final thoughts on it. Thank you for coming to my Titan Talk. We have one more topic for the night, but before we get into that, I will check chat for a moment. This isn't even a reboot. It's a retread. Tiny Toons was a fantastic reboot. Well, they're calling it a reboot. I'm pretty sure they're calling it a reboot, right? I'm pretty sure they're calling it a reboot. At least I'm pretty sure. Yosemite Shred. Oh Oh, that's good, Raph. Leon. For Elmer and Bugs, it was love at first sight. Wow. Wow. I could have never come up with that on the spot, but good for you, my friend. Freaking good for you. That's okay. You win a point. You win a point. Okay, alright. Let me bring up the last topic for the night, my friends. Alright, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. I feel like I'm always talking about Twitch. I'm always very disappointed in Twitch. Something that is always going on with Twitch, whether it's, you know, moderators, administrators, like, what are all these titles? Like the safety council members. I mean, you have so many different names. Ambassadors. I feel like I'm always disappointed with Twitch. Someone representing Twitch or just actions that Twitch makes. And tonight we're going to talk about Twitch again. So Twitch has been hit by a wave of copyright claims over old clips. There are a lot of streamers currently on Twitch that are receiving tons of takedown notices and claims for music that is in their live streams. I remember when I first started, everyone telling me this, but Twitch has always been very lenient on music. Yes, if someone, how do I put this? Like, if there's copyrighted music in your stream, you can mute certain sections of the live stream, but you have to go into an editor and you have to mute it. Or if it's claimed, it gets muted. But Twitch has been sending out a lot of emails alleging copyright infringement recently, leading to streamers frantically trying to figure out how to delete potentially thousands of clips and countless hours of work and memorable moments. Clips from 2017 to 2019 have been targeted specifically, but due to Twitch's lax enforcement of its own music guidelines, some streamers have racked up a huge library of videos that contain copyrighted music, and deleting it isn't a straightforward process. I know here on YouTube, I play some copyrighted music. A lot of the times I don't, but sometimes I do. The original owner usually claims the music. They have automatic claim systems set up, and they take whatever revenue I make from the stream, even though, you know, my channel isn't 1 million subscribers, so they wouldn't be getting much. But a lot of streamers right now are having their accounts hit, and they are possibly going to face termination because fucking Twitch hasn't upheld their rules over the past few years, and they have no way for creators to defend themselves, and they're basically telling creators, well, you're on your own. So, Foosley received 2 copyright strikes on June 7th, and a third would have netted her a permaban, with over 100,000 clips. Finding and deleting other clips with copyrighted music sounds like an impossible task, and Twitch advised her just to delete her entire library. But unfortunately, that's a big challenge, as she can't even see her own clips. So this streamer has over 100,000 clips, and Twitch has no way for a streamer to see older clips. Eventually, when you have so many and they're past a certain age, they get removed. You can't see them in your dashboard. So how is a streamer supposed to protect themselves? Also, Twitch doesn't have a mass delete. From what I've heard, there's no way to mass delete clips off of Twitch. Oh my gosh! Twitch is literally telling creators to fend for themselves. And this isn't an isolated issue, even though streamers are trying to protect themselves by proactively deleting clips. Twitch is throwing obstacles in their way. Twitch has said that it's working to make the process of deleting clip archives easier, but has not provided an alternative yet. This week, we've had a sudden influx of DMCA takedown requests for clips with background music from 2017 to 2019. If you're unsure about rights to audio in past streams, we advise removing those clips, even though, let's point out, there's no way for creators to. While it's working on it, streamers are being threatened with bans and suspensions, so this does not seem like people can really wait on it. A better process should have already been in place before something like this happened. I 100% agree. I think that if Twitch has rules, they need to have systems in place for creators to respect those rules. And yes, creators haven't been respecting those rules, but that doesn't mean that Twitch should have never had an option. These past few years, Twitch should have been creating an option to allow creators to defend themselves. Twitch is legally obligated to act on copyright claims, but some streamers have been critical over how it's handling it. Previously, Twitch muted audio that was flagged by its content filtering system, protecting both the music's copyright and the streamer, but now it's removing clips and doing out strikes. Yeah, so that's the system Twitch had in place, like it would automatically mute it if it flagged it, which is good, but that doesn't mean that all audio was flagged. That doesn't mean that it doesn't slip through the cracks. Twitch advises streamers to reference the music guidelines, though much of what is prohibited occurs regularly and goes largely ignored. And it also doesn't address games that use licensed music, either leaving streamers wondering what's going to happen with games like Just Dance. That's what I initially thought of, is what the fuck is going to happen with games like Just Dance? Because those are games with 100% copyrighted content. You are literally dancing to copyrighted content. And while yes, you should be able to stream it and you should be able to have no problems, we don't know, because Twitch's guidelines don't cover those. And the thing is that Twitch does have to abide by those rules. I know that right now, really no one is streaming Just Dance because they're so afraid of this happening to them. I mean, they could literally do one live stream and their channel could be permabanned. What the hell, Twitch? If you had something in your guidelines that talks about copyrighted music, first of all, maybe you should have been enforcing it this whole time. If you were enforcing those rules this whole time, big streamers wouldn't be listening to a lot of music and they wouldn't be going through these situations, so it would have protected those content creators. But you're also giving streamers zero options to defend themselves. I know right now that a lot of people aren't yet talking about leaving Twitch and the problems that Twitch could have, but I honestly, I expect a lot of streamers to leave Twitch over this. I haven't heard of anyone that has gotten permabanned because of the situation yet. I've not heard of anyone yet. But if this is the system, it's inevitable. There are people that are going to get their accounts permabanned. And it sounds like Twitch is going to say, okay, well, that's your problem. See you later. Streaming is a living for a lot of people, and people should not have to worry about their livelihood being taken away from them because you as a company have not set good guidelines in place, you have not enforced your guidelines, and you do not have systems for creators to protect themselves. In the end, that's all that we really know right now with Twitch. Twitch has been hit, or a lot of creators have been hit with huge waves of copyright claims over their old clips. I really hope that Twitch pulls it fucking together soon. And I don't want to say fixes the problem because they can't really fix the problem, but they need to give creators options to remove their clips in mass groves and to allow creators to mute their streams and even see their older clips so that they can delete them. Can Twitch even do that? Who knows? Twitch might not. You literally might not even be able to remove your older clips after a certain point in time. I know a lot of creators can't get to their older clips, so I guess at the end of the day we'll have to see how this progresses. Most likely next week during Monday night's talk stream next week, I will be discussing this again because I'm sure there's going to be updates on it. But I think that the way that Twitch is acting is irresponsible. I think they need to comfort their streamers more and say, we're gonna fix it for you. We're gonna figure something out. Like, we're gonna put a system in place so you guys don't lose your livelihoods. But they're basically telling streamers, you're on your own. So that's all that I had to discuss with that situation, and that will conclude the topics for tonight. We discussed Twitch, Looney Tunes, CW and Batwoman, and DC dropping Diamond. Is it better? Mike's dead. Can you guys hear me now? I love how you say check chat, Vera. But if... You can't hear me. I hear my microphone. I hear... Wait. Are you guys trying to troll me? Is it good? Guys, guess what I did? I hit it again. I hit it again. It's just, it's tough, guys. It's tough. $100 on this. My $200 microphone is fucking broken. Haven't heard back from Blue at all. I hit it again, I'm sorry. Hey, at least something works. At least it works. It's gotten progressively worse, though, and I can't figure out why. I can't figure out why. I can't return this one because nowhere is returning, or is accepting returns on microphones, so I can't return it, and I don't have like $300 to just go and buy another microphone until my good one is replaced. It's a struggle. Honestly, it's a struggle, you guys. Anyway, I don't know where the microphone died, but I'm going to move into the Q&A portion of the live stream. If you have any questions or topics to ask, please feel free to put them in chat now. And I will chat with you guys for a few minutes. When you get your mic, you're gonna need to make a start my education video. I can't break this one. This one's brand new. It's $100. I can't break this one yet. I just got it a week ago. I know that it's fucking up. Unless I get... Okay, if I get, like, another new microphone, I'll break this. I'll smash this one to bits. It's a struggle. If any companies are in chat that want to sponsor a new microphone for me, let me know. It's rough, guys. It's rough. I mean, unless I want to buy like a new $400 microphone. It's not happening right now. It's fine though. Let's not talk about it. It has failed you. It needs to die. But you're one of those rich YouTubers. Oh yeah, I'm one of those rich YouTubers where my videos aren't even monetized, so I'm not even making money by you watching. I'm making so much money. I'm not making money. We love it. Vera the mic abuser? Yeah, I just hit it. You know what? Next time I'm not even gonna mute it. I'm just gonna hit it so you guys hear. I'm just gonna do it. Let me read chat for a few minutes. F. I remember when you got that new mic all those months ago. RIP. Yeah. Hopefully they replace it soon. Hopefully. Maybe you have magic static hands. I mean, honestly, maybe. Maybe. Peace was never an option. Yeah, peace was never an option. I'm curious to see how the topics we talked about tonight will progress. I want DC to make more statements. I really want Twitch to make a statement. I want them to not act the way that they're acting, that's for sure. Definitely. I really feel bad. I feel really bad for creators right now that are on Twitch, because a lot of them are afraid to live stream. A lot of them are. And that sucks. That really sucks. And I feel extremely bad for them. It's hard. Twitch made a statement? Well, they made a statement on their Twitter. They said, basically, if you're unsure about rights, just remove the clips. But there are creators that can't even remove clips because they're so old. That's the big problem. That's the big problem here. Twitch not enforcing their guidelines? The thing is for years they weren't enforcing their guidelines, and now they're kind of being... They're screwing over creators because they weren't making creators enforce their own rules. So now creators are just kind of left in the wild to fend for themselves. And they don't care. Twitch just doesn't care right now. I've talked about Twitch and their inconsistency on enforcing policies and whatnot quite a few times at this point, but this is affecting a lot of people, which is just so disappointing to hear. Very disappointing to hear, in my opinion. But, alright you guys, I think that I am going to end the live stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do very much so appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your donations tonight as well. When is your KOTOR stream again? I haven't decided if or when I'm going to stream KOTOR. I might stream the MMO like once or twice, and I may stream KOTOR. But I will let you guys know when and if I decide to do that. If you are not already part of the Discord, please make sure to join it, you guys. We are very active there. I will link it in chat for you all right now. I do tag you guys when I am live streaming, and I do let you guys know when a new video goes up, so in case YouTube does not notify you all. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. Please make sure to give the live stream a like if you enjoyed, and a dislike if you did not. I will be in Discord, though, if you guys want to chat. But thank you all so much for stopping by, and have a fantastic night, everyone.